Hello everybody, welcome back. Day 75 in the Bridge by Blossom Goodchild. Blossom starts and she says, I have sat here for a while and cannot seem to get the opening sentence today. Surely, she says, you're going to come through as we only have these 3 days left. Is there anybody there? And they say, yes, we are with you. We ourselves are aware of the little time left. And she says, Blossom says, still struggling. Just can't seem to pick up your thought pattern. I shall be so disappointed if there's nothing today. And they say, dear one, we are here. We would desire for you to take a few more minutes in your tuning in with us. And she says, sure. And in brackets, I did so. It is through your trust that we have been able to communicate in this way. You have had times of great doubt as to whether we are a figment of your imagination. Yes, we are to a certain extent. And Blossom says, well, that's marvelous to hear now that I've finished the book. And they say, let us explain. And Blossom says, that would be good and necessary. We are able, they say, to transfer our thoughts into your head. That is how we work with you. However, because you do not directly hear us, it is a case of putting our thoughts into your thoughts. That is why you feel at times as if you are making it up. And she says, but what about this figment of my imagination? And they say, we make this statement to confirm, not to confuse. This is another reason why it is you we have chosen. You are a creative soul, and therefore you are able to let your imagination expand. This is important to us because if you were not like this, our thought pattern would not be able to filter through very well. I have to make a note. Stand by. Right, where were we? So she's a creative person, and they say this is important to us because if you were not like this, our thought pattern would not be able to filter through very well. When we say figment of your imagination, we have to be. We need to be. You have not seen us with your human eyes. You have not even seen us with your spiritual eyes. So you are imagining. And she says, carry on. Your human form is so tightly contracted by the lack of mind expansion. If one did not have their imagination, nothing would exist. It is through your imaginary thoughts that the energy of that thought can be turned into reality. And she says, yes, but I understand that to be in the light of something that you wish to create for yourself and then make that happen. Let me read that again. She says, yes, but I understand that to be in the light of something that you wish to create for yourself and then make happen. I think I have to read that 3 times. I'm going to go back and read their last paragraph. Okay. Your human form is so tightly contracted by the lack of mind expansion. If one did not have their imagination, nothing would exist. It is through your imaginary thoughts that the energy of that thought can be turned into reality. And Blossom says, yes, but I understand that to be in the light of something that you wish to create for yourself and then make happen. In your case, with all respect, I didn't set out in my imagination to create you. I thought you came to me because you had chosen me to write this book. I'm going to hang on in there with this little puppy. It's important to me. And they say, we understand. Look at it like this. If you had not let your imagination run with us, we would not have been able to connect with you. If you had closed your creative self down, we would not have been able to enter in as we connect with your creative side. This is closely linked with your imagination. Think of that word, break it down. Image, a vision of. Imagine, to create a vision of. So, if you work along those lines, we have created a vision of what is to come. By allowing your imagination to work alongside ours, we have managed to create this book. Does that make sense to you? And Blossom says, somewhere in the back of my brain I understand, although I'm wondering if all this is necessary. And they say, with respect, you are the one who questioned. And Blossom says, with respect, I was not going to let a statement like that slip by unnoticed. I needed to know what you were getting at. And they say, and have we got there? And she says, guess so, moving right along. I've got to look at that. Stand by, I've got to look at that again. There's a note that came as I was reading that. Oh yeah, okay, just a moment. Don't know if they want me to mention it or not. Okay, the process continues. I'll finish and then explain what I'm doing. Right. So Blossom says, okay, carry on, basically. Guess so, moving right along then. And they say, Blossom, we have found much joy in interpreting your humor. Many times we were unsure regarding certain comments you've made. Would you believe there were discussions held to define the sentiments of some of your statements? But through the recall of your disposition and energy as they were written, we were able to attune ourselves to the knowledge of the difference in energy between a funny comment and perhaps maybe one of frustration. Now that we understand of this, we are able to find ourselves amusing at times also. And Blossom says, how nice. However, I'm wondering if there is simply nothing more for you to say within this book. Again, with respect, these aren't exactly words that are going to change the course of history. And they continue, you'd be surprised at what these words will do. With this, we mean the words within this book. You have felt always that there is nothing profound, nothing to shock, nothing that somehow you didn't already know. Is that so? And she says, well, yes, but I think that's because when White Cloud is channeling through me, I feel the same. The answers come to me, but I don't think they would if he wasn't present. In fact, I know they don't. So I was thinking perhaps it's the same sort of thing with you. And they say, you are correct in your assumption. And now do you see, we became a figment of your imagination purely for this purpose. And she says, yep, I think I get it. Whether anyone reading these words shall get it too, I have no idea. I'm feeling that our time is over today. I can feel myself tiring. Not quite sure what we have accomplished, but I'm glad something has been put down. Only 2 more to go. But you have mentioned that we shall pick up again another time, presuming for another book. So that fills me with hope, and therefore I shall not be sad, but may feel a little something missing in my morning duties. Hopefully, when I've finished all the editing and adding my own bits, I will be very proud of our accomplishments. Signing off, in love and light. We get it, Blossom. In deepest thanks. That was day 75 in the bridge. Blossom's work is available on our website, blossomgoodchild.com, and all our channelings are on YouTube. Okay, so in the morning, after I've done my meditation and turn on my phone, I check a few things that I want to check, and then I go to YouTube. And every day, one of Blossom's older channelings from 2017, 2018 are there. And each day that I listen to those older ones, there's something that I need to hear. And as I read this morning, as I was going through, 2 pieces that have come to me recently clicked together. And the first one was the 0-point field. Now that was described to me, the 0-point field, in one of the first sessions that I did with the quantum healing hypnosis technique. And a client that came introduced it to me, and I've got to go back and listen to that session again, because what I got out of it at the time is it is the point that we bring ourselves to, and I'm using this like a condensed energy where we are in the flow of everything. And when I sit and meditate, it's not that my mind shuts off. That doesn't happen. But I focus I go to a place where for me, I would describe it as right here, right now. And when I do, and let everything else just fall away from me because nothing else matters, I get this, it's like I jump into a river of creative thoughts. And anything that I've been working on, new ideas and new ways, easier ways of doing things, and really cool creative processes, ideas, little keys and tools and gifts come to me. And it's like, oh, that'd be cool. Let's do it that way. And then stuff flows easier. So it's like I'm jumping into that 0-point field. For me, is a place where all the worries are gone, all the, nonsense that oh my God, I got to do this, or oh my God, I got to do that, and I'm worried about this or worried about that. It's all gone. That's what the 0-point field is for me. And from that space, I get rid of everything else, and I say a mantra: I am the light, I am the love, I am the truth, I am our mantra. Or right here, right now. Sometimes I go through a gratitude, and then whatever I've got to do to center and settle myself to get into that 0-point field, which again is a fairly new concept for me, just 2 or 3 years ago. So I go there, the creativity, the creative bits start coming in. I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay. But now I want to rise above that and go to a service. And then I put myself into conduit mode, where I allow, or I ask for, love and light, healing and energy to be brought through me out to everybody else. And that's just part of what I do in the mornings. It feels really cool. And I can feel it like energy coming through me, and I can see it with my spiritual eye. I can imagine it rippling out like waves to whoever and whatever needs it. So as I was reading today, that 0-point field was coming in about being in creativity and the constant flow. which, and I'm being reminded now of a sign I've got put out on the fence, miracles are God's uninterrupted flow, or the divine's uninterrupted flow. The 0 point field is a really cool place to know about. The second thing is what was in Blossom's older channeling that came through on my YouTube feed this morning, was about a letter that she got, or a document that she got from somebody, about the breakdown of words and how words have been put into our lexicon, or our language, which were designed initially, it was hoped, to bring us our level of energy down, and it didn't work that way. But they tried. God bless them, they tried. And what all the darkness and the negativity, all it's done is basically shoot us upwards, which is really cool. The one word that she mentioned this morning in the YouTube video was blessed, and initially that word was entered in so that we would, and it was used in the way of understanding that we are less, for us to be less than divinity. And what the Federation of Light said about the document and that word that she received was that it's not God or the divine, divinity, could have been called knitting needle, and it wouldn't have made an ounce of difference, because if we had been, whatever your particular slant on connecting with the divine is, it doesn't matter what you call it, because when you understand that the divine is beneficial, loving energy, which allows us to create all that we do, it doesn't matter what it's called. And it's not about the words we speak. Generally, it is about our intent behind it. And our intent is known. We can't hide that from anybody anymore. It's just, you can see somebody coming and knowing what kind of a day they're having, and then decide whether or not you want to give them a hand, metaphorically or physically, literally, and try and uplift them or give them joy, or not. And choosing the higher road. So I feel very blessed. Somewhere along the way, there's a light strain that has come through, or a very high frequency that has infiltrated YouTube, it seems, because the feeds, the things that are popping up, part of the algorithms I'm hearing, part of the things that are popping up for me are bits and pieces from YouTube, or Blossom in the past, that she's put on YouTube, that are spot on for exactly what I need to see or hear for the day. Anyway, yeah. So I asked again this morning about, so what about my question to the higher crew, my higher crew was, or everybody's higher crew, because it's all connected, was, okay, so what do I do with these bits that I'm getting as I'm reading, that I'm hearing, oh, you should mention that, oh, you should mention that. So what I did, or what I confirmed, was that, okay, when I get a bit, I'll write it down and then speak about it afterwards, because Blossom's work stands on its own. This is just my contribution to helping spread her work around, and the information about the Federation of Light. What else do they want to say? What else do I want to say? Can't think of anything. Hope you have a fabulous day. Could mention the Lionsgate portal, but that was just, rattle on. You can get that information anywhere about all the things that are coming for us now to look at, because we can't take it with us where we're going. Love and light, everybody, in gratitude. Huge gratitude. Blossom, thank you. White Cloud, the Federation of Light. Oh. Hope you have a fabulous day.